Man, I wish I could curse right now. I started this channel without any editing skills knowledge, so the whole beep sound when you're cursing, I don't know how to do that yet. But I wish I could, man, because this anime did such a number of me on me that I wish I could curse throughout the entire video. But I'm going to hold that in and let's start the video proper. Now, I'm going to be reviewing Unnamed Memory Season 1 and 2, each one 12 episodes, so both combined 24 episodes in total. Now, this one is an adventure, fantasy, and romance, and a light novel adaptation. I'm gonna say right now, be warned, there will be spoilers. Now, in this one, we have our main character Oscar, who said he was a child. He was cursed by the silent witch, and the curse is that he's not able to produce any heirs. He's not cannot have any babies, essentially. But by being the crown prince and the only son of the current king, his death would mean the death of the current royal bloodline, and he cannot have that. So he learns that there's a witch on top of the Asura castle, who, if you reach on top of the castle, she'll grant you a wish. So he went to the castle, cleared the trials on each floor, reached the top of the castle when he missed the other main character, Tinacha. Tinacha being a witch, 400 years old, and they discuss about him wanting to have his curse broken, and she said that the curse, there's two ways. One, you have to find somebody who has such a high magical potential that is able to withstand the power of the curse, but there's a small chance to finding somebody like that on the planet. But technically, Tinasha herself can withstand the curse and being able to heir his child. But obviously, she doesn't want to do that. She practically doesn't know this man. So she says, no, let me just give me some moment. I will find out a way to break your curse. So in the meantime, she become his bodyguard for 1 year. And for 1 year, she's trying to break his curse, and he's trying to woo her so she can foster his child. Now, that's the general plot of the anime throughout the 2 seasons. Now, throughout the story, this is where the spoiler stuff come up. The story was frustrating as hell. I felt like I was in walking through slush. Look, even though that I paid attention throughout the entire 24 episodes, I couldn't tell you much about the story because it felt like I was like sedated with anesthesia or something, where I was awake and aware, but I wasn't taking in I was awake and alert, but I wasn't aware of the situation around me. Essentially, it just felt like walking through slush. It felt, look, let me organize my thoughts a little bit. Let's start with the characters. The characters are the supporting cast or side characters are pretty much non-existent. We have literally throughout the 2 seasons, we have characters that appears once, never come up again. We have characters that, yes, they appear throughout the 2 seasons, but literally they have, throughout the entire 2 seasons, they speak once, and throughout the rest of it they're just in the background. So you do not get to learn anything about this the supporting cast, the side characters, supporting characters. However, I'm just going to say side characters. The side characters, you don't know nothing about them. They don't stay nearly long enough to you even to remember their names. And those few side characters that do appear more than one or two times. They're either there to conveniently move the plot forward or to do exposition dump, and then they just appear once or twice throughout the two seasons, and you nearly don't see them throughout the other episodes. So yes, they're just there for exposition dump or to conveniently do something to move the plot forward. That's it. So pretty much the only two characters that you can get a little bit attached to are the two main characters, being Oscar and Tinasha. Now, with the romance department, look, even though this technically is a romance, and I'm going to use quotations very much, the romance in this anime is laughable. Seriously, look, throughout in the first season, throughout I say 4 to 5 episodes, I was a little bit refreshed with Oscar being the main character because he has a very stoic personality. And I said, oh, okay, refreshing. We don't have too much main characters that are stoic. So a refreshing new main character. But man, he's too stoic to a default. Seriously, I was talking about the romance, and the reason because I brought him being too stoic is because Tinasha technically, well, she is the love interest, but you could swap Tinasha with his mortal enemy, and you are going to have the exact same range of emotion in tone of voice and everything. There's going now no difference between the same way he talks to his subjects, the same way he talks to leaders from other nations, is the exact same way that he talks to Tinasha. Usually, even if you are a very stoic character, when you are either in private or talking to your loved one, usually you speak with a little bit more softer or kinder tone of voice, or you show a side of you that you don't show out to anybody else, but you show only exclusively to her. I didn't saw any difference between the way he treated her to the way he treats anybody else. So the romance in here is laughable. You know what constitutes a romance in this anime? Seriously, the only two things that he does that are technically romantic is that he takes her and likes to put her on her lap, and that's it. And once in a while, he just likes to spontaneously kiss her and do a small charming smile, and that's it. Those two actions constitute romance throughout the entire 24 episodes, the two seasons. Laughable. The romance in this anime is so was seriously bad. I don't know even why they put romance in the text of this anime because it was non-existent. Existent. Now, when it comes to now, I already talked about the supporting characters. I saw talk about the romance. Okay. Let me just say this. To do say something kind for now. The action, the animation, whether it be the action or the everyday movement of the characters was very the every sorry the animation was fluid and the action was actually very well done. The action in season 1 was good, but I don't know who was cooking in season 2 because there was two action sequence that honestly I was wow. Actually, I was impressed with the action. I was somebody in season 2 was cooking. Sorry for my lack of words, but yes, so, in season the action was well, the animation, whether it be the regular animation, body movements and such, and the fighting animation, whether it be with swordsmanship or with magic, It was actually well done, and in season two they pick up a notch. So I was impressed with that. But the the scene that was critical for this story was the storytelling. The storytelling and the progression of the story was awful. I I felt like I was in anesthesia. I was awake, but what's happening? Seriously. So to be a little bit, I said that I was going to do spoilers, but I think I'm not going. I look the story is laughable, and one thing that I'm going to say is that they introduce time travel in this anime, and you will say, okay, magic, time traveling, and everything. Okay, the only problem is that they make me feel like an idiot for paying attention throughout the entire 24 episodes because they go back in time and undo everything. In season 1, the final episode, Oscar goes back in time, stop a tragedy to happen to Tinasha almost 400 years ago when she was still a child and still technically not a witch. And because he did that, history didn't rewrite his sorry history didn't rewrite itself. It more like started starting fresh from a blank state. So everything that happened in season 1 didn't happen. You feel like a complete idiot for paying attention, but not once, but twice, because in the end of season 2 they did it again. They again they did technically they do the whole going in back in time thing, and again they make me feel like a complete idiot for paying attention throughout the entire 24 episodes. And look, technically, yes, I felt like an idiot for it, but I wasn't that frustrated because the story was awful. The story stuff was happening, but the way it was structured, I just didn't care. There was no proper setup to anything that was happening throughout the story. Just suddenly, one episode they're fighting a zombies, another episodes this I wish. See, sorry. Let me organize my thoughts a little bit. Simply, okay, the best way that I can explain it is there's a lot of talking. Somebody breaks into the castle and tries to kill Oscar. There's again talking, and somebody's trying to kidnap Tinasha. Talking again and again. Seriously, the security in this castle is laughable. Though the knights and the mages they are there for security are there just for show. There's just ornaments to be displayed because every a couple of episodes somebody is breaking into the castle to either kidnap or kill one of the two of them. And once in a while they go to a different kingdom and for some reason get they get involved in something that the other kingdom is in the moment are dealing with a situation. And I felt like a complete and total idiot for paying attention because for the most of it I was very, even though that I was watching, paying attention, I was practically zoned out because I didn't care about anything that was happening throughout the story. But those few moments that I was paying attention, I felt again like a complete moron because they give me a situation that I was intrigued. I was actually okay. This could finally give me something I can sink my teeth in, and they do not give me the full information. Seriously, I'm going to just give you three and as an example. One, there was a one episode story where there's a girl that she is a sole survival. A group of bandits raided her village and ended up killing her husband. And like I said, she survived. She's in a kingdom where our two main characters happen to be, and she's having nightmare about the night that where the tragedy happened. But when they were escorting carriages throughout the desert, the bandits came out again, and they wanted to claim the girl that survived the tragedy as her own because he wanted her as her wife or something, or lover. And I was intrigued. Okay, okay, what's happening here? And stuff happened, a little bit of fighting, and all of that. But by the sorry mosquito, but by the end of it, for some reason, she decides to go with him. The guy goes with the guy that killed her husband, and it is not explained why. So they practically wanted me to fill in the blanks. Childhood friends. Maybe they knew each other from childhood, but she ended up marrying somebody else. But that's just lazy storytelling. The, I was paying attention. Okay, why did she decide to go with him? Why did he decide to raid her village and kill his husband? I was waiting throughout the episode to explain to me the detail of that story, and it never came up. And I said, okay, not this episode, but maybe the next episode. No, they just leave me high and dry. Didn't told me any of the details. I was frustrated at that episode. And that's not the only thing. There's also, like I said, three example. The next example is there's a Tinasha has a hatred for a witch who title is the witch that must not be summoned. And I thought, okay, I am intrigued by this the enemy. Let's do maybe a backstory of the reason why Tinasha has so much hatred for this character. Never came up. Seriously, the witch who must not be summoned throughout the entire ordeal. It was never shown why Tinasha has such hatred for her. They did a brief flashback, but she didn't do anything. She just gave her advice. She didn't murder a friend or anything. She didn't maybe be a kingdom or a town that which she was found of. She didn't destroy that kingdom. It was just never revealed why Tinasha has such hatred for that character. So and I it was frustrating. And the third example that I'm going to give to you is the silent witch, the witch that gave Oscar the curse of him not being able to produce heirs. Seriously, that entire finally in season 2, by the half of season 2, they do finally revealed the silent witch and the reason why she did the curse on him. So at least in this time they did give us the information to properly, I guess, appreciate at least the episode. But honestly, it felt anticlimactic. It felt more the whole revealing the why she did the curse on him. It felt more like, oh my goodness, we are in this far in the story and we haven't revealed anything. Quick, let's write something. It felt like that. It felt super anticlimactic, and then this the silent witch went away to never appear again. Seriously, they introduce characters to never appear again. Yeah, I was just so frustrated throughout the entire 24 episodes. So, look, I'm just going to leave it here. The video is starting to get too long, so I think I already said my piece about everything, at least a fraction of my frustration. So, season 1, I'm going to give it a score of 4. Season 2, a score uh, a 5, because season 2 they cook a little bit more with the fighting animation. And putting both seasons together, because this is a full adaptation, thank God that there's not going to be a season 3. I'm going to give this an overall score of 5, a 5 out of 10. Honestly, this anime gave me, frustrated me to no end. I wish I could give it as a low score as possible, like a 2 or something. But I have to be fair, because by the animation, the fighting animation, the voice acting and everything else. To be fair as possible, I'm going to give it a 5, and I'm just going to leave it there. And I'm even going to do my usual outro. Goodbye.